So we're going to do a flip through now of the Slow Tarot by Lucy Bryant. I've literally got a table, a lamp, sorry, dangling over the table because it looks dead dark to me when I'm looking on the screen. I'm hoping you can see the cards. I've got literally got my top light on, blasting. I've got lamps either side, but this one is literally dangling over the table. An old vintage lamp that I got and a very good deal. So we'll do a flip through of this deck, Slow Tarot. I actually love this deck. I've not really spent too much time on it. I do love it, and I keep, what I tend to do is I get decks in and I think, no, it gives me wintry vibes, or it gives me this time of year vibes, and I'll pull it out then and I'll use it then. And then I've acquired that many decks that I end up not spending that much time with them, so I am going to start slow. I mean, I've got about 200 decks now, possibly more. I'm going to start slowing down on my buying of decks. I've got a couple more coming in at the minute, and then I'm holding off. I keep saying this, but no, I'm going to hold off because I'm overrun. I've literally put some into boxes and put them out of the way. The ones that I know that I'm not going to really grab for, there's no point in having them sat around cluttering the place up, so I've put them away. I have done a trade. I'll do a flip through of this one. I'm losing all my decks. So I've done a trade the other day for my green witch tarot. I absolutely loved. I think it's the moon card in it. Adored it. Absolutely adored it. I didn't really gel with the rest of the deck though, or the images in the rest of the deck. So I went on the trading site, Tarot Marketplace on Facebook, and a lovely lady traded me this deck in return for it. And I had a play with this last night. I had a look through it last night. I had a play with it. And it is, I love it. I love it. It's got good vibes. It's got really good vibes. I don't know whether the good vibes have come from her or what, but it has got really, really good vibes. I'm dropping everything now. 1 sec. So I will do a flick through of that one as well at some point. You can see the light there, can't you? So I have to make sure I don't glaze to death. This is the Slow Tarot. I didn't get this on Kickstarter, but I believe it was a Kickstarter. I got the Marie Bento one, the last one that I've done as well. I got that directly from her site. It's a 3rd edition one. This one was a Kickstarter, I believe. It was either on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and it done really well. And it's strange because you don't really see it about that much. You don't really see people using it that much. It's got some beautiful images in here, and I think she actually painted the images herself. And there was a bit of controversy over the devil card. We'll discuss that when we get to it. I think there was a bit of controversy over that. And that might be why people don't really use it that much. But I understand. But then again, at the same time, I don't, because we'll discuss that when we get to it. So let's get started. So it comes in this small 2-piece box. Now I got this. I know Simon from the Hermit's Cave done a walkthrough of this one when he got it, and he got charged. He got charged customs on it. He seems to get charged customs on a lot, so I don't know whether he does it through like a business name or through his channel name when he's ordering decks and stuff. Because every deck that he seems to have been charged any kind of customs on, I've not. So I don't know whether it's, so if you're ordering, try just ordering under your name and not like a business name or your channel name or something. I don't know whether that affects it. I don't know, but I didn't pay customs on this, thankfully. I think he paid about £20 customs on his copy. It's a lot of money. It's a lot, especially when you've paid for postage and everything as well. But yeah, I was prepared, actually. I was prepared to pay if I had to pay the customs on this one because I really wanted it. So it comes in this little 2-piece box. It doesn't quite sit flush. You can see it there. It doesn't quite sit flush, but it makes it easy opening. The only thing with this one is that you have to make sure you're storing it like kind of down flat, because if you try and store it up ways, the lid does come away. And this is another slippy deck. This is another one that's linen card texture, so it's quite a slippy deck. So you get the box. And it comes with this little guide. So in this guide you get an introduction. It tells you what tarot is, gives you a bit of a foreword, seekers and guides, the reading, interpretation, the meaning, it tells you different ways to interpret it basically. Then it goes into the major arcana and you get a little blurb on like the majors, and I think it's different on the... See, I kind of nosy through these books and stuff, and I never really pick them up, to be honest. And I'm going to be doing that with the last one that I actually done, which is the Marie Bento, the Antiquarian Tarot. I'm literally going to do a study on that deck because it's got lots of symbolism in that one. But this one, when you get to... Yeah, it just goes like the aces, the twos, the threes, the fours, the fives. It kind of gives you... But it does give you... like a keyword for each one, which is handy, and it tells you a bit about the energy of the twos and the threes and the fours and the fives, and it gives you a bit on the... does the same with the court cards as well. A nice little book. They are linen texture, so they are very, very slippery. They're like a browny maroony colour. Are we going to be able to see this? Like a brown and maroony colour on the backs, and you get like nod to all the elements on the back as well. Let me bring those in. There we are. So we have our Fool. You still get like the symbols on it as well. You get like the white flowers are down here, but the dog and the person is quite literally jumping off the cliff here, and I absolutely love this. The images, I will say, they have been hand painted. They can be quite dark, so you have to have a lot of light. Well, I don't know. I've not got bad eyes, but I have to have a lot of light kind of on this deck to be able to see it properly, because it can be quite dark. We do have the numbers up in the corners as well for the cards, but we do have a title. We've got the Magician. Absolutely love this. Love the fact that she's wearing like a little red belt. She's got the red flowers, but she's drawing energy down. And you can see that she's actually drawing the energy down. I don't know if you'll be able to make that out, but it's like there's magic coming down that she's drawing down and using. High Priestess. The Empress. This one tripped me out a bit when I first got this this deck, because I'd be looking at this and I don't know if it's done intentionally to be a play on your eyes. It looks like she's kind of reaching up to her neck and her like kind of got a hand up towards the neck, but she hasn't. Her hand's actually behind her back here and one across her belly, so she could be pregnant. She might be, she might not be, but she's out in nature. But it always trips with my mind whether she's holding up towards her neck or whether she's got a hand. She's got a hand behind her back, but it looks like it kind of comes up to her neck about here. I don't know if that was an intentional thing. We've got our Emperor. Hierophant. And I think these also change colour. I think these also change colour as we go through, you know, on the borders. A Hierophant. The Lovers. This is an interesting lovers card. And you've got the house burning in the background there. And then as we go into this one, I get the idea. I don't know if it's meant to be, but it looks like a continuation, almost like that's the burning sky of the house in the background and they're doing one. It always takes my mind there. The Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. I absolutely love this Hermit card. Fortune, for the Wheel of Fortune. Balance. Justice. Is it? Justice? Never even thought. Yeah. God, my mind is not my own today. I'm not thinking straight. I'm on 11 out. I'm like, God. Oh. Yes, a Justice. Hanged Man. Love this one as well because he's kind of doing this cat cradle, but he's got all these webs around him which show that he might have been there for some time. So the idea that you might have to wait for a period of time, but also that you might have been waiting a bit too long. Death. Temperance. Temptation. Now this is the Devil card that I think people weren't happy with. I think it's because it shows like the fuller figure woman, but in the background here you have people like kind of looking like they're in the throes of having sex and stuff like that, but then you've got food around and everything. And I think people took offence to the fact that it's a bigger woman and you've got food around and stuff like that. However, to me, this card just shows like kind of hedonism. They're all like kind of having sex and having the way around. There is food around, but it's not just food in front of her. She's just enjoying the moment with the wine. God knows what she's been up to before this, but there's food everywhere. There's food around all of them. To me, this card's more about hedonism and about kind of just doing what you want when you want and not really thinking of the consequences. So I don't really see it as a negative card. And having been overweight at times in my life myself, you know, I certainly don't take offence to it in that way. Well, I think that did cause a bit of a stir. We've got the Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Love this Judgment card. Kind of a reminder you've got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say that you're doing the right thing as well. It's not just about everything else and anyone else going on around you. It's about being able to be like kind of true to yourself. The World. We're going to our swords. I'm going to move these out of the way because they're a bit slippy and they'll start sliding everywhere. It's got the Ace of Swords, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like this 5 as well because it gives a little bit of a play over you may be a really decent person. This is an angel. You may be a really decent person. People may be taking advantage of you, so you may have to actually defend yourself. You may have to actually let people know it's not all right to kind of take advantage of you and stuff. And I like the way it makes my mind go. So it's not just about winning at all costs. It's about sometimes you can be looked at in a different way where you have to. You may be inclined to let people kind of walk all over you, and now you need to take charge of a situation. I've got the 6, the 7, 8, 9, and 10. Quite graphic one. Oh yeah, so we went from like a browny black on the majors to this grey colour on the swords. So we've got our page, knight, queen, and our king. And I like that he's got kind of battle wounds going on, showing that he's been through it. His sword's broken. It's almost like showing that he's been through it, but he's managed to kind of do what he needs to do or learn what he needs to learn. Then we're going to our wands. All of the aces are borderless. To be honest, I mean, I think a lot of people like this. I don't think I'd have liked... I think I like the borders on this deck. I do like the borders on this deck. I don't know how I would feel if they were all borderless, if you know what I mean. Because this kind of stands out to me with it being borderless. I've got the 2. So I've gone back into like a maroony brown colour here for the wands. 3. 4. 5. Showing a more playful aspect to the 5 of wands. 6. I think they've got lacrosse sticks in their hands. The 7. The 8. The 9. And the 10. I like this one that you've got. You can see like the frame of a building in the background there, so it's almost like it's a labour of love. It's shown like the labour of love side to this card. We've got our page, Knight, Queen, she's literally got her feet on coals there, hot coals. And our King. And there's random things that you see popping up in this, and there's absolutely zero explanation for it. Absolutely no explanation for him, like this light, modern day light in the background here. You'll see things like that throughout most of the cards. So I think she says she left a load of little Easter eggs in for you to look through and figure out. I've still not yeah, no, not made sense of that one. And we've got our Ace of Cups. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. And this is more of a bluey grey, darker bluey grey border on the cups. 8. 9. 10. Got our page. Our knight. Queen. And our king. It looks like it's in swamp water, doesn't it? And then we go into our pentacles. So we've got our 2. Now we're back to a lighter brown kind of colour. 3. 4. More of a trickster energy with this 4. I get trickster energy with it. Just the way she's looking at you, but yeah. It'd have been nice to have a bit of a more of a write-up about one sec, sorry, some guy looks like he's going to reverse into my car. He's doing the smart thing and going in and trying to turn around. It looked like he was just going to reverse straight out into my car then. Yeah, it's I'd like to, especially with the cars where, you know, she kind of, I mean, you see the meaning, but you could see it a different way as well. I'd have liked a bit of an explanation on them, so it'd have been nice. We've got the 5. I think he's going to hit somebody else's car now. One sec. Christ, he's making a song and dance. Oh, we're getting it. Literally, all he had to do was reverse and turn slightly, and he would have been able to pull out. He's literally just on a 10,000 point turn. Nearly smashed into 2 other cars, and then nearly hit a fence post. Oh. So we've got the 6. Let me refocus that. I tapped it. So it's interesting. You get like, it's almost like someone's throwing the coins in the 6, but in the 5, it's like the coins are going into the. So is this like a continuation of that? Because you get these colours here, but you get these colours down here in this. So it's an interesting viewpoint on that one. 7, again, more trickstery energy with the 7. I'd like an explanation on this one as well, because it's like she's giving him the hand signs of what cards he's got, and yeah, I'd like a bit of an explanation on that one. The 8. The 9. The 10. We've got our page with the lemonade stand. One sec. Dogs are just out there running riot. The Knight. Taking his sweet time, not in a hurry to get anywhere. So some of them are really easy readers, but some of them it makes you think. Got our Queen. And our King. And that is the slow tarot. So let's see, it shuffles very well because it's a linen cardstock. So it does shuffle very well, but it's one of those decks that's very slippy and you have to get the hang of getting the hang of. But it does shuffle very well. It will end-to-end rifle very well as well, because it has got a good decent bit of bend to it. I don't shuffle that way because it's just, it hurts my hands. I don't see no point in putting myself in pain trying to look fancy shuffling cards, to be honest. So it shuffles nicely. It is slippy, as I say. I think this will still be available on her website. If you look up the Slow Tarot, Lucy Bryant, you should be able to find it. She does ship internationally, obviously. I mean, it's going to be potluck whether you end up paying for custom fees or anything on it. I didn't. I know others have. So let's take a look at the 2 of Coins. So it says the 2 correspond to the High Priestess and the Major Arcana and represent outside influences and personal choices. So for the 2 of Coins, it's indecision is the keyword, and then it says when it comes to the 2s, the coins seem to have trouble balancing. Me. I mean, to me, the 2s in the upright would be that you've got a lot going on, and maybe, yeah, you have got a bit too much going on, and it's about evaluating and stuff like that. In the reverse, it would be telling me that I'm having trouble balancing, I've got too much going on and I might be feeling overwhelmed. But in the upright, but then I suppose it depends which way you look at it. It depends where it falls in a spread and stuff like that as to which way you're going to read it. So if you just read upright, you might read that as you're having trouble balancing, especially with the imagery going on in the background. But as an overall, for me in the upright, it's usually that, you know, we might be showing off a bit with having so much going on and being able to do it and being okay doing it, but are we taking a chance and doing a bit too much? So yeah, you get like a little read up and that, or a little keyword, something to chew on. Let me see if it's got the name of it. I think her website is just Slow Tarot. Oh, that's where I found it. Oh, it might be Modern Eden Gallery. Modern Eden Gallery. That might be what the website's called, but that's Modern Eden Gallery there. To be honest, I can't remember exactly how much I paid for this, but I know it was like when I was first starting getting into indie decks. So it's obviously more expensive than a mass market. God. Oh, my brain is not in gear today. So that is the Slow Tarot by Lucy Bryant. Okay, thank you.